6-0 versus the Basketball League. They will play the Albany Patroons on Friday in the state of New York. Was originally slated to be the Syracuse Stallions, but a last-second switch-up has given the Lightning a chance at revenge at the only TBL team historically to ever hand them a loss. The Lightning are actually a 3-1 historical record against teams from the state of New York, but they've never won in the state of New York. Their lone game was a loss to the Albany Patroons. Billy White, Amir Williams, Express, Lightning, and, well, Billy White just watches Amir Williams tap that one back, and away we go.
He was just saying, forget this one.
So Jeremiah Morty, again, welcome back. The Lagos, Nigeria native who did play his collegiate ball at Queens College is back onto the starting five in the yellow uniforms. Terry Thomas stuck on a pivot foot, being double-teamed, kicks it up for Mike Nuga. It won't go down.
Well, it was a matchup zone that Windsor started with that time, not man-to-man. Well, it is a man-to-man, but it's only a matchup when they come in your zone, you pick them up. So, no basket, first possession for London.
Khalil spent 4 years at Detroit Mercy, gives it to Billy White. Splash! The opening bucket of the game goes to the veteran.
He's got the height too, right? You can be right in his face, but he's so tall, he's just going to shoot right over you, right over Terry Thomas that time.
Last season for the Express, Billy White shot 54.9% from the field. That was the team high.
Well, he's reached some impressive stats this last weekend, right, in Newfoundland, if we look at some of the statistics for him.
Well, he was just a couple rebounds shy of the triple-double in the last game as Amir Williams from the near side can't get it to go. Jeremiah Morty grabs the loose change, tries to go cross-court to Nuga. It's intercepted by White.
We're going to be talking about turnovers, I'm sure. There's the first one of the game.
Claiborne tried to keep this one from going out of bounds. We're going to say his tippy toes touched the line, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, so Billy White's player of the week this week, based on his play in Newfoundland.
Well, he had 16 points, 14 assists, and 8 rebounds, John, in 37 minutes of play. What was even more impressive to me, he did the majority of that damage with 5 personal fouls late in the fourth quarter. Terry Thomas can't get this bucket to go. Ironically, the last time against the Express, Thomas played well. 4 minutes of action, John. He got the league record for most points ever scored by a Canadian, but at that point we had thought that was his last game as a Lightning. He played some tomfoolery on us as, again, management got involved and kept him in a yellow uniform, and we see him again here tonight.
Yes, so far he's playing most of this quarter. Like we said, last game he only played 6 minutes again, mostly in the first quarter. He ran him out for just a minute in the second quarter, and he had to sit again with his nagging injuries.
And again, the game against Windsor, 5 minutes, but it wasn't because of an injury. Doug Plum was sort of setting a precedent. Corner pocket three, Jackson, bang. Over 2 minutes into this game, and the fans continue to stand on their feet, as is tradition here at Budweiser Gardens, but they got to be a little achy right now, John.
Yes, so far 3 threes attempts. Jordan Burns unsuccessful as well that time. I think he only went 1 for 5. The last game, he's normally pretty reliable three-point shooter.
He was 8 of 17 from the field, but you are right, John, was 1 of 5 from beyond the arc in his 22-point performance. This one from distance won't go for Billy White. Now it's 1 for 2 from beyond the arc.
It's like these teams are scared of each other. They're only taking three-pointers so far, both sides.
From the charity stripe, it's Amir Williams. It'll rattle out, and the Lightning continue to build a brick house here early.
Brick house.
Nick Garth exploiting the defense, goes right after Jeremiah Morty. Doug Plum calls a timeout.
Finally, a drive down the lane, a little bit of forceful play, and all by Windsor, I must say, so far.
We did see a glimpse of this against the Kokomo Bobcats. That's Bobcats with a K of the Basketball League. John, they shot out to a 12-3 run in that contest. And in fact, if you think about the previous game against the Sudbury 5, it took 3 minutes and 52 seconds for London to get their first points in that game. In fact, it came via goaltending.
Yes, and so we're starting to see a bit of a pattern here. You have mentioned it a few times. Slow start in the first quarter and a number of poor starts in the third quarter as well. Even last game gave up 35 points to Jamestown Jackals last game in the third quarter to allow them back in the game. So a bit of a disturbing pattern of slow starts at the beginning of each half.
What was even more disturbing about that Jamestown performance, John, was the uber impressive second quarter that London here had at home. They went on a 28-6 run.
That's a record, right? 6 points in a quarter in the NBL. I believe nobody's ever held a team that low in the whole history of the 10 years.
But like you mentioned, they go into the halftime
and they
break.
gave it back. I know.
You think that strategy-wise they'd be exploiting them even more. Well, no, they were outscored 35-22 in that third quarter. But again, by then the damage had been done, and they ended up beating the Jackals 98-85. Jamestown, not a lot of luck so far. Remember, in April, they lost a heartbreaker by one possession to the Windsor Express in their first game up in Canada. They lost that game to London, which was their second game in Canada, 98-85. And then the next day, they ended up losing 97-82 at the Titans barn at the Auditorium. So, again, Lightning out of the timeout, John. Let's see what they do. It is important to note, I think it was, a 16-0 run for Sudbury in that game, and it was a Doug Plum timeout that all of a sudden the run went back the other way. So let's see if they do respond out of the timeout. Well, Amir Williams banks this off the bottom of the backboard. That's a turnover, John.
Well, William Claiborne let Amir Williams get the ball, but you can let Amir Williams get the ball right underneath the hoop. So if you can't keep him from getting underneath the hoop, push him all the way under. He can't do anything either. So a good defense by Claiborne.
It's been 3 minutes and 10 seconds of game action, and London has yet to get a bucket here at home. The fans are continuing to stand as Windsor misses this shot. Burns again turning the tide the other way, finds Amir Williams, and there's the and one, and the fans can finally sit down.
Well, I think Billy White's giving Claiborne heck, but I'm saying, why? You're the one that shot the three. Claiborne's down in here getting a rebound on the other end. You're the one that's first man back. You need to stop Amir Williams, not Claiborne. Williams is a lot faster than Claiborne up and down the court.
You see on the far side there, it's Claiborne and Morty side by side. What's interesting about that is we mentioned the Falcons journey of Morty recently, 5 games with the Quarar Falcons in the Africa Basketball League. Well, Claiborne, in between last season and this season with the Express, also was in the Basketball Africa League for Bangwe Sporting Club.
Cool. They play all over the world, all these players. That's part of the attraction of this league.
They kick it back out to mid-court, but Billy White quickly feeds Garth in the corner, and the 3 ball's good.
That's already 2 baskets for Garth. That's all he scored all of last game.
Lightning 0 of 3 from beyond the arc. 1 of 6 to start this game. Nuga trying to change that. It bounces out.
Again, settling for a 3. The zone so far has bamboozled, befuddled the London Lightning.
Express Picante out of the gate,
wow.
And Jackson continues to rumble. John, they're 5 of 7 from the field and shooting 75% from downtown. Yes, it's early, but it's a 13-2 run here on the road.
Coming in, the zone buster, Lance Adams, 3-point specialist.
Burns was trying to get a 3-point of his own, but like you mentioned, last game was 1 of 5, and not much luck here tonight on your Wednesday. Caliste with the fancy blue sneakers, bottom of the cup.
It's contagious, I tell you, it's contagious. They need to get the sharpshooter in. Now they only have Lance Adams now, no Adam Alita. He was the other hitman to break the zone. He's on Windsor now.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, he's kind of an enemy behind the gates right now as Terry Thomas tries to mix it up again. Lightning building igloos right now from downtown. 0 of 6 to start this game. It's a 16-2 run for Windsor out of the gate. Express. It's White to Caliste, trying to go back-to-back. No love from the rim. Jeremiah Morty, our player to watch in a Lightning uniform, crosses midcourt and feeds Thomas. Thomas penetrating the key, kicks it out for Burns. 3 is away, it won't go down. They continue to be cold here, John. Nuga between 2
good little
Express
head
products.
fake, pump fake's good thing. He's in the trees there, but he was able to get it up off the backboard. Good offensive rebound by Amir Williams that time.
Fooled Claiborne and White. They're going to need a lot more of that, though, throughout the rest of this first quarter of action. Looks like Tanner Stuckman ready to check in for the Express, as Kerr Jean-Couch and Lance Adams are both at the scorer's table for the Lightning. Billy White going right after Terry Thomas. Thomas builds a defensive wall, and I believe he stuffed him at the end, and a little keep away by Amir Williams.
Lots of history there between those two.
Well, again, 97 times. No other NBLC teams have seen each other as often as the Express and the Lightning. And you could say the same thing just in 2023, John, because they've met each other 7 times already here.
Yes, they did.
Morty to Burns, back to Morty, over to Thomas, going after Billy White, and Billy White with the extra hack will send Thomas to the line.
I know, Billy White, he's I don't know, he seems to be losing his composure a little bit there.
A little agitated.
Yeah, I don't know why. Terry Thomas did the right thing, driving right at him. I think he's going to get subbed right away for Claiborne. Coach is talking to him. Jones, with lots of seniority in the league, lots of coaching time with Billy White, because White has played for Windsor for a long time. They have a good, healthy relationship, so I'm sure he's telling him, calm down. We're off to a great start. Keep your composure.
Thomas played for the Island Storm, the Moncton Magic, and the Halifax Hurricanes, all having, I would say, altercations with Billy White along the way. And here, as a London Lightning product, the case is no different. For the defending Canadian Player of the Year, Sixth Man of the Year, and Finals MVP when the London Lightning were able to pick up their league-leading 5th championship. Now, Jean-Couch playing defense on William Claiborne. Tanner Stuckman mix it up with Garth. Garth finds a seam and threads it.
Wow, that's twice he's done a driving layup, and he's landed very hard on the floor right by the stanchion there, and was just sitting there for a few seconds catching his breath.
Putting his body on the line, and he's leading everybody on the court right now with 7 points. Now Burns was trying to bank this one off the window, didn't get the right geometry down. Adams for 3, glances the rim. With Thomas built down on the baseline and slow to get back into the play, it allows Jackson to pull up a 3, and Stuckman has the easy rebound. Stuckman going after the far smaller Morty, and Jean-Couch says, get that out of here, good sir.
Just a little slow that time. You had the mismatch. I thought he should have gone up a little quicker, not giving Jean-Couch any chance to come over, but that is Jean-Couch's strength. Quick lateral movement, good quick ups, and he's got a long arm span as well.
The Juba, South Sudan native just flew in as a Temple Owl recently in his second game
nice.
with the London Lightning. In his debut, John, 15 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks. But my favorite memory, him with his parents on the court.
Yes, that was very, very beautiful.
So it is Adams. You said he's the zone splitter for a reason.
Zone buster. Absolutely. You need those sharp shooters to get the team out of their zone, out of their comfort zone. Right now, Windsor's sitting back comfortably in that zone, doing a great job matching up.
Lance Adams, it's hard to believe, scored 28 points in 31 minutes against the London Lightning. That was back on March of 2022 in a Lansing Pharaohs uniform. And then I guess Doug Club said, wait a minute, I need to get that guy on my side.
Put him on the radar, absolutely.
But here on defense, he can only watch as the Express retaliate with a deep ball. It's a 21-9 game. This is exactly the start that Bill Jones was hoping for.
Well, a lot of settling for shots, 3-pointers. I'm a little surprised. Early in the shot clock as well. There's no reason why you can't move the ball around a little bit, try to make a drive, kick and drive, but settling for the first open look they get on a 3. I don't think that's the London strength.
Claiborne engaging with Jean-Couch. They go down low with it.
That's on the line. Jean-Couch just holding his position. It's a bit taller, but definitely bigger player than Claiborne.
Terry Thomas is going to check off, John. He's, well, I'm not going to say part of the problem, but he is 0 of 3 from the field and 0 of 3 from beyond the arc. As a team, London's 1 of 10 from downtown and currently shooting 3 of 15. That's 20%. That ain't going to get it done on your Wednesday night, big fella.
No, it ain't. Like I said, they're settling too early in the clock for 3-pointers. They need to do exactly what he's doing here, Burns. Nice.
Burns, nice draw to put Caliste and Claiborne on him, and then he feeds Williams the ball.
I've been saying it all season, when Burns gets to the foul line, off the dribble, good things happen for London.
Now Jackson, difficult 2 with Marcus Oddie in his grill. He misses, and with a 10-point deficit, London tries to chew into it here. Williams leaves it there for Burns, the product of Colgate with the floater. It won't go. It Plinko's around right back to him for 3. Yes.
Wonder if Jean-Couch plays Plinko. That's the second time he's deflected the ball back out. Didn't get the offensive board, but he kept the ball alive for his teammate.
And I mean, I'll just say what I'm seeing here, John. He's just freely punching at the ball. It's not like he's necessarily intending it to go back to Burns, but like you said, by punching and jabbing at it, the geometry plays a factor. The defense doesn't know where it's going.
Yes, it is, and because sometimes you can't get a hand on it, but you can tip it or push it back out to your teammate. That's just as effective as a rebound. In fact, I think it should be called like a hockey rebound, like, the second, how you get second player gets an assist kind of idea. So I don't know.
These two teams saw each other here at Budweiser Gardens back on Thursday, February 23rd. The Lightning pulled out the 98-81 victory. They led 41-40 at halftime, John, and in a rare third quarter dominance, London outscored the Express 36-15 after the halftime break. But the Express did score 30-21 in the fourth quarter, but it was a case of too little, too late.
Yes, it was. So here, 21-14, so Windsor's let London a little bit back in the game. The defense still from Windsor seems to be befuddling the offense from London. A couple dribble penetrations seems to create a few openings. I think they need to do that more. It doesn't have to be at a fast pace, but just get inside that zone somehow with a dribble. Kick it out for an open three then, or lob it to your big guy.
Lightning have an overall record of 16-5, a perfect 6-0 record versus the TBL, meaning that they're 10-5 via the conference. That's against the National Basketball League of Canada. They have a 7-2 road record, which is actually better than their current 9-3 home record. And as you mentioned, John, they lost the home opener, and they've lost twice to Sudbury 5, and once here thanks to Billy White's 1.5-second dagger here at Budweiser Gardens in 2023. Tanner Stuckman from Quincy, Illinois, can't get this one to go. And again, it's just 3 losses, John, here at home. But when you consider they were 16-0, a perfect 16-0 throughout the regular season and the postseason in 2022, as Audie rattles this one down from distance.
Yeah, that was a different team as well, right? And I thought last year a lot of teams got off to a slow start. And this year I think London got off for a decent start, but really struggled in the middle part of the season here and gave up some losses as well.
They do benefit from the KW Titans starting their season about a quarter after everybody else got out of the gate. As Garth from a long distance too can't get it to go. Burns on another rebound, John. That's his second of the game to couple with his 4 assists. Audie trying to stay hot. Back-to-back jacks from Marcus Audie.
And from the same spot as well.
Audie, again, the Toronto native who actually played 7 games for Team Canada back in 2014 at the U17 World Cup. Gar stuck on his pivot foot here, was trying to find Khalees. Instead, a miscommunication with Claiborne, who had to catch it from behind him.
Good recovery there.
Garth going after the bigger Jean Couch. The arcing 3-ball won't go. Audie on the rebound.
Yeah, he out-rebounded Stuckman that time.
Adams thought about stepping into the 3, feeds Burns instead. That's back-to-back threes for the London Lightning, who get their first taste of the lead, 23-21 here with 90 seconds left in the opening quarter.
It's contagious sometimes, team shooting as well, right? So that was early in the shot clock, but then he sprinted to the corner, was there in time, shot in rhythm, and then Stuckman sticks it right back to them with another 3.
Amir Williams right into the grill of William Claiborne, tries to separate from him, and he'll draw the foul. Now remember, John, Lightning started off 1 of 10 from beyond the arc. They've made their last 4 consecutive 3-balls. They're now 5 of 14 and up to 35.7%. We talked about it in our keys to the game. From deep, this is a team currently shooting below the beyond the arc standards the last couple games. And we know if they could bring that up, the wins will follow.
Well, they do have a lot of capable people that are comfortable shooting a 3 as well. Not necessarily featured in that, but there are enough players on the team that can shoot the 3 very comfortably. So early on, I thought in the quarter, they were shooting far too quickly, too early in the shot clock, not in rhythm. These last few 3 or 4 shots have all been in rhythm.
Now, something to keep the eye on the London side of the fence, though, is this team shot 60.5% from the charity stripe in that 98-85 win over the Jamestown Jackals. 23 of 38, John. They left 15 free points on the table.
I know, I tell you, it's going to pay later on. It's going to pay in the playoffs.
Claiborne, I thought, was fouled by Amir Williams, but play continues, and it is Terry Thomas turning it around for the home side.
This is Morty in the corner, starting to see what he's going to bring to the table.
He's going to pass it to Amir Williams, who's guarded by Tanner Stuckman. Now he's being double-teamed. He recognizes that. Morty from distance rattles it off the rim and glass and in. We're in the final minute of play. Lightning enjoying just a 2-point lead. They were outgunned 16-3, John, to start this game.
Well, what a change in fortunes for Windsor when Billy White went off all upset. Right, coach pulled him out, talked to him on the bench. He hasn't been on since. And since that time, London has come into this game and actually gone ahead with Billy White sitting on the bench. That's how valuable a player he is to the Windsor Express.
I beg my pardon. It was a 16-4 run to start this game. But regardless, you get my point, John, as somehow in the latter half of the opening quarter, London has completely flipped the script. Far elbow. It is Morty back to Amir Williams. They're going to take a 3 ball. And hey, I needed to cool down, Amir. Thanks for the wind.
Yep, it's end of the quarter, shot clock, maybe trying to get a second possession, but it was too late. So I think he should have just brought it in. Nobody came out to challenge him. Just bring the ball in.
Shot clock turned off. Will this game be tied, or will Windsor have a lead? Jackson can't get it to go, and Claiborne can't put the rebound in time. And oh my word, what a comeback performance in just that first quarter alone. It pretty much seemed like it took 3 minutes of play for London to even wake up offensively in this game, John. So they only needed 9 minutes to come back and beat the Express 26-24 in the opening 12 minutes of play.
Well, you finally got a couple zone busters in there, and I mean, zone busters, 3-point shots will loosen up any kind of a defense, right?
And I think the first person to do that, and you actually fortuitously called it, was Mr. Adams.
That's his role on this team. Take the open three when you got it, and look. His teammates need to look for him to do that as well. But I really think the turning point in that quarter came with that Billy White losing his composure and getting subbed out, and Claiborne coming back in, out of rotation. So let's see if Billy White is back on the floor for the start of this second quarter. They cannot win this game without him, in my opinion. He's too valuable. And let's listen to some of these stats that we did talk about. Billy White named NBLC Player of the Week last week against the Newfoundland Rogues. The average 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Like I said, almost a triple-double in 3 games every game. The 7th player in NBL history to do that. He passed Brandon Robinson for 4th place in career free throws, and is only 25 points away from tying Ryan Anderson, former London Lightning player.
And former Express player.
Yes, and for second overall scoring in the league. Long history with Billy White, long history with the same coach. Let's see if he can come back on the floor and play as well as he did in Newfoundland.
And a guy like Billy White has been around this league, played with the Halifax Hurricanes and the Moncton Magic for a combined 238 games. That was over 7,600 minutes on the Atlantic side of the fence before coming and playing with Bill Jones. And again, he was the MVP of that 2020 final when the Moncton Magic took it all. And he was teammates with Jeremiah Morty, who in many people's opinions, this is not just being a homer, John, talking with Moncton fans, thought that Morty was the one that should have picked up the MVP trophy.
Yeah, they both played big roles.
So can you kind of break down that opening quarter for me? Because it was definitely a yin and yang performance, John.
Well, I'm going to say it. The crux of the matter is Billy White was off the floor and Windsor crumbled. That's what to me happened.
How content are you with the turnovers just being at 2?
I'm just looking at it because last game against the Jamestown Jackals, and no slight on them.
It was 19, right?
Not quite the caliber, but in the first quarter they had 10 turnovers in the first quarter against Jamestown. 26 for the whole game.
Wow.
As many assists as they got. So how many assists does London have tonight? 8. So that really came back in the second half. Windsor, here for 3-point shooting, 6 of 12. That's what's kept them. That got them the early lead and has kept them close as well. See if they can maintain that.
Beautiful play down low for Ja'Kai Taylor, who's been recently put back onto the roster after being on the injured reserve list last season for the Express in 21 games. He shot 52% from the field. Retaliating back the other way, though, is Jordan Burns. And after having somewhat of a cold opening quarter from beyond the arc, where he was just 1 of 5, he makes this one to start the second cue.
What happened to that possession, right? The ball went into Amir Williams on the foul line. Nobody challenged him, and nobody's looking at the 3-point line. He kicked it out in rhythm to Jordan Burns, and away it went.
Let's see if they give it to Stuckman at the top of the world. They seem to be doing that quite a bit when they go down by 1 possession. Instead, it's Claiborne, not the big fella I thought would be in his office. Garth, near wing, engaging with Burns. Down low to Stuckman. He has 2 yellow uniforms on him, and he runs out of time. It's a shot clock violation.
Again, I thought he should have gone up right away. I think he sort of waited too long. Defense collapsed on him. He had nowhere to go. He's got the height. He had the ball in a good position. Just go up right away.
Jeremiah Morty, one of your starting 5 in a yellow uniform, crosses over midcourt and swings this over to Burns. Burns leading everybody on the court right now with 9 points, but that's his 6th assist of the game,
Williams
John.
just walked through, just sort of wandered through the zone there. Claiborne didn't even put a hip on him or any kind of a body check to slow him down. He just sort of, I'm going to go to this spot, and a nice interior pass and a hook shot.
Burns keeps at this rate, John. He has a chance at a 20-assist game.
Yes. He is the league leader in assists. There's Stuckman, run up right away, drew the foul. Excellent play that time by Stuckman. Should be no hesitation. He's got the height, he's got the nice form down there. Billy White cheering on the sideline. He's still not on the court yet. I'm a little surprised why Bill Jones is keeping him off the floor.
There are 24 regular season games in the 2022 NBLC season. Between the Express and the Lightning, the man at the line and Tanner Stuckman was the only player to play in all 24 games. He did lead the team with 88 personal fouls, but I guess that's,
he's a rugged player.
You put your hard hat on sometimes. That's
right. I've said it before. I like his style. He's not flashy, but he does a lot of things right. He has good fundamentals. He helps his teammates out on defense. He's willing to mix it up for the boards. He just should not be hesitant on the offensive side.
Played in the NCAA Division II for his hometown Quincy. In fact, he was a 2020 GLVC All-Second Team member when he started all 28 games for his hometown, and he averaged 18.8 points per game. As Burns with a nylon ripper, that's his fourth make from beyond the arc. He's got 12 points in this game.
And look, he's shooting in rhythm again. He's wide open, and how did that get generated? It's because Morty drove it all the way to the foul line and kicked it back out.
It looks like Adam Alita might be getting ready to make his Windsor debut as Tanner Stuckman breaks out the oven mitt and patty cakes this one in.
Nobody paying attention to Amir Williams running down the floor. Everybody just running casually back. Williams sprints down, and his teammate finds him for an easy putback.
Yeah, he allowed Claiborne to perform the drive-by. Then he was able to tomfooler Stuckman underneath the hoop for two. As then he rejects Garth. Garth will get it back, or I beg your pardon, that's Ja'Kai Taylor. Claiborne between three, Lightning, but he can't cap off the play, and he might have rolled an ankle. He appears to be okay, like a James Bond martini. He's shaken but not stirred.
This is where London's dangerous.
That was Garth Taylor. Nick Garth, I should say, being spilt down to the deck. The floater's up for Thomas. It won't go, and Thomas is now 0 of 4 to start this game. His only 2 points have come from the charity stripe.
Featuring Stuckman here, right? Because he has a size mismatch, but not taking care of the ball that time.
Has his pocket picked by Burns. Jeremiah Morty back to Burns. Open three. Too much muscle.
Too open. I said it before, right? That one wasn't in rhythm, right? He had to dribble the ball, get his feet set. He didn't catch it in rhythm, so the percentages go down.
Last couple Express possessions have been a bit choppy. Looking down at the court, Bill Jones trying to settle it down, but it's still the same play to Stuckman.
Yeah.
And he gets the 2 points down.
Yeah, he's holding them in the game right now.
5-point lead for the Lightning here at home, looking to improve to 10-3 at Budweiser Gardens in the 2023 season and 17-5 overall.
Zone starting to show some cracks. Lightning players are zipping through the seams, and nice passes. Just that time, Morty couldn't hang on to that bullet pass from Williams. It was the right play, though. With
Jackson and Claiborne coming off, Billy White comes back into the game for Bill Jones, and Adam Alita, a former London Lightning, our player to watch for the Express. 200 minutes this year for the Lightning, was released this week and quickly signed up by the Express. Ja'Kai Taylor trying to exploit the Lightning defense. There is a foul called on the play.
Yes, that was Adams. He swung through and hit him on the arm. Now, if I know I have Mr. Kerr
underneath the basket
as a recovery player, like, why create the foul? He was coming over to help, but he had no chance to play defense, Mr. Kerr, young coach.
Ja'Kai Taylor, he's also an Illinois native, just like Tanner Stuckman. He was actually drafted by the Capital City Go-Go with the 24th overall pick in the 2021 G League draft. Last year for the Express, he was 52% from the field, where he had 337 points to his credit.
Well, this is what I'm talking about with the young coach. His teammates need to learn that he's a great recovery and help player, and he covers a lot of ground, so you can play a little bit more aggressive on defense on the perimeter. If your man beats you, you don't have to foul him to stop him. See if Mr. Young Cooch comes over and helps out.
Adams, who is 1 of 2 from beyond the arc, misses that one, so he's down to 33.3%. A chance to, get within 1 point. A beautiful assist from Billy White.
That was a double. Did you see the two players on Windsor, one sprinting in one corner, leading the other in the other corner? So all the Lightning players are looking at the corners, and then he fired right down the middle to Stuckman.
Turnover by Ja'Kai Taylor, leads it for Garth. He'll be fouled by Burns on his path to the net.
Nothing easy tonight is what it looks like. But I thought that was a terrific play by Windsor, freeing up Stuckman. Everybody's looking to their corners because Alita was racing the corner. Even though he knows he's not going to get the ball, he decoyed like a dummy, going all the way out there, draw the London player. Same with the other player, to Taylor to the side. And then they fired in the middle to Stuckman. Great play.
And as a result, Stuckman, who was not in the starting five for Bill Jones, leads the Express right now with 10 points on the court. Leading everybody so far, though, on your Wednesday night is Jordan Burns, who's 4 of 8 from beyond the arc, and he's got 12 points, 6 assists, and 3 rebounds. John, we haven't reached the halftime break.
Yeah, I know. I think he was 0 for 3 starting on the threes, and he's 4 for 8 now.
Burns again coming off of the 22-point performance where he was 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. He did have 7 assists and 4 rebounds over the course of 31 minutes in that win over Jamestown.
Yeah, team's got 11 assists, and he's got more than half of them.
In fact, Jordan Burns was a leading point getter between both these teams when they hooked it up back on Thursday, February 23rd. Burns had 23 points that night, John, but he was 0 of 4 from beyond the arc. Where did he do most of his damage? The charity stripe, where he was 13 of 15. He was 1 assist shy of the double-double and also had 4 rebounds in 38 minutes that night.
Yeah, he's been a valuable pickup this year. After a little bit of a slow start and trying to figure out what his role was with Coach Doug Plum. You know, early in the season he was struggling with that, but since that he's become sort of the facilitator, leader of the team. He leads the league in assists as well, which is a huge benefit for London Lightning.
So no Marique Isom available tonight for Doug Plum, and we've yet to see Jermaine Haley so far.
He's sitting there on the bench and seeing the blue sweatshirt and the beanie hat over there.
What's interesting is Haley was expected to play in the pregame, so something might have happened during pregame warmups.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did not see him in the warmups. It was just before the game where I was commenting on that. So Saint must have picked up a late injury, nagging injury or something, taking his precaution, because he came last week and he played right away. Within a day of coming here, he was playing already.
Yeah, Haley back on October 29th of 2022 tried out with the Cleveland Charge of the G League and played 6 games with them. And then March 3rd of this year, he went to the Grand Rapids Gold when they claimed him off the player pool, and he played 3 games for the Gold before signing here with the Lightning. As Adam Alita's first shot in Express uniform won't go down, and that would have been a beautiful picture too, John, considering he was taken right in front of his former team's bench. 7.5 to go here in the opening half of play on your Wednesday night. Mike Nuga on the baseline, coughs up the biscuit. It's Garth going down to the deck to get it for Ja'Kai Taylor. Right up the court for Adam Alita, who was trying to swing it to Stuckman, but it goes off of Jean Couch and out of bounds.
I think he had the colors mixed up for a second there. Because you got to remember, he just played like 2 or 3 nights ago.
Well, if you don't look below the chin, you're going, that guy's still my teammate.
No, he was trying to save the ball from going out of bounds, expecting Stuckman to go in another place.
White to Adam Alita. Alita goes to the bank on your Wednesday night.
The bank is open for him, which is good. That is what they need in Windsor. They're still playing a zone. You see the matchup zone they're playing?
So Alita again making his first points in an Express uniform, but then it goes from one player to watch to the other player to watch as Jeremiah Morty hits one from downtown.
London may not have enough, maybe sharpshooters, but they got more than enough capable 3-point shooters. Absolutely.
Billy White, 3-ball, hits the rim. Garth on the recycling bin, and Doug Plum not happy with his defense.
No box out, 2 yellow guys sitting right there. Nobody put a body on him. Like, what's going on here? Everybody's watching the shot.
As a result, the Express do lead here on the road. They're currently 500. They are 5-5 away from the WFCU. Burns' 3-ball won't go. The battle for the biscuits won by Stuckman. Up to Ja'Kai Taylor. Garth back to Ja'Kai Taylor. Throw it down. Oh, me.
Oh, my. I know I'm supposed to say that, but I'm usually wrapped up in the action. Sorry, buddy. I was watching Garth. He was chirping Doug Plum on the way back.
So we could see some more drama as this game continues. Amir Williams absolutely hammers Garth. He might have hit his head off the court, John. They should be calling a timeout for player safety regardless. I don't think Garth's with it right now. I watched him clap the back of his head off the hardwood.
Head there. Bill Jones very upset at that.
There's 3 officials out there, and I don't think any of them are doing their job properly right now. I'm not saying that Amir Williams should have got a foul call. What I'm saying, though, is player safety should have been questioned here.
I hear you, what you're saying. Yeah, he's still cricking his neck back and forth.
I mean, God forbid if this was the NHL, the NFL, they'd be getting a call downstairs saying, hey, we want this guy to go back to the concussion room right now.
Concussion protocol.
But as a result, Burns continues to rumble. The 3-ball gives London the lead.
He is hot.
Adam Alita, corner 3. I think Amir Williams got a piece of it. Then he gets a push from his coach to go play defense. Or I should say offense, as it is Williams giving it to Burns. Burns will be fouled. Now Garth, I'm watching him go over to his coach. He appears to be okay, but I don't know if we caught it there. He clapped the back of his head off the court after picking up a blindside screen from Amir Williams. Now, don't get me wrong, that happened just coincidentally after you thought he was talking with London's bench.
No, that happened before. Yeah.
So our producer's saying they're checking it on the replay, so it looks like he didn't hit his head off the hardwood. So I don't know why he was holding the back of his head then, Curtis, our producer.
So anyway, Burns is at the foul line, and again, I've been saying all year, when the guard from London, typically the typical point guard, in this case Jordan Burns for the majority of the time, gets to the foul line, good things happen for the London Lightning.
And you know what? Our producer Curtis was right. He actually hit his head off of Amir Williams. It wasn't actually off of the
floor,
court.
So he did have contact on the head. Yeah.
As Jakai Taylor's one-hander is good. He's going to remain hot here, John. He's got 10 points on the night.
Yeah, him and Stuckman are keeping the Windsor Express in the game. White's been quiet so far.
Jean
I
Cooch.
don't know if that was a foul. Again, White is really complaining to the referee, but young Cooch unable to finish that beautiful interior pass.
It looked like a good defensive play, though, from Jakai Taylor, who's been hot in the second quarter.
It looked like a good play to me as well, but I didn't think there was a foul involved there.
So the Juba South Sudan native at 6'9" will go to the line. 4 seasons at Northern Colorado, where he started 117 out of 119 games for the Bears, as he gets some love at the back of the rim and in. But his senior year, he went to Temple. That's also an NCAA Division I school. He did start just 12 of 32 games, and he had 69 points in an Owls uniform.
Yeah, I don't get the feeling that he's a scorer. He's what I would call one of those garbage kind of guys, right? Picks up all the loose rebounds, putbacks, steals, runouts, all those kind of things. Not necessarily known for creating his own shot or outside shot threat at all.
Last time these two teams played each other, London led at halftime 41-40. Jakai Taylor spin around two is good.
Just a little bump with his rear end and spun around right over Lance Adams.
Again, these two teams combined for 81 points at the halftime break. We're tied up at 48, and we still got 4 minutes left as Jean Cooch will be fouled. You talked about no easy points tonight. That time,
nothing easy tonight.
You know, the previous play we were debating, I think maybe Jakai Taylor definitely was late on that one, but he still followed through nevertheless.
Wasn't given an easy one. Again, good 1-2 play between the two bigs for London Lightning, right? Amir Williams building some chemistry. Hopefully by the end of the season, they have something really good going on between the two of them. Young Cooch at the line.
And what's a cool story about young Cooch as he makes the first free throw here was that he played in London, Ontario back in his London Basketball Academy days in his high school era before going off to the NCAA. And he actually participated in the 2022 Global Jam as that ball appeared to stall on the back of the rim and just die in.
Very soft touch, yes.
A Kawhi roll.
Yes.
So a 50-48 scoreboard in favor of the home squad with 4:10 remaining in the second quarter. Jakai Taylor, arguably the hottest hand for the Express. He's going to step out of bounds.
Good defense that time by Nuga. Putting the pressure on him. Even though he had a size advantage, he wasn't allowing him to put the ball on the floor and get an advantage.
I like Jakai running back too. Just look down on the court just to say, oh yeah, okay, I guess my sneaker just touched that line.
So they're still in their zone, but London's really starting to figure out this zone lately. Again, dribbling to the foul line, kick the ball out.
Another guy we've yet to see here tonight, John, is Elijah Lufiel. So we've yet to see Jermaine Haley and Elijah Lufiel, and then we know Marique Isom's already in street clothes heading into tonight.
I don't remember seeing Lufiel warming up either, to be honest with you.
But yet both him, Lufiel, and Haley were, again, on the roster going in from the scorer's table.
Yeah, you're right.
Burns whips it over to Mike Nuga. Splash.
Nobody. That ball's moving quickly from side to side. Zone can't recover.
Just a bullet pass from Burns. His 7th assist of the game, John. He's got 19 points, and he's still got 24 minutes of basketball plus.
Well, it's interesting that Billy White has not gone inside whatsoever because there's two bigs inside. He's got the length, and he's got great post moves as well, but so far he's avoiding going into the middle.
Burns back-to-back jacks as he's now got 22 points on your Wednesday evening. And going back to your point about Billy White, John, he's 1 of 6 from the field, and despite not wanting to penetrate the paint, he's only 1 of 3 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, and the big guy's not in either, right? So I'm interested. When London has 2 bigs in, Windsor is sort of countering with all their smalls. And in this case, I'm counting Billy White as a small because he's staying on the outside perimeter. He's not playing as a big inside as a traditional post-up person. So there's nobody posting up down in the middle when London has the 2 bigs out there.
Well, we mentioned in our keys to the game, brought to you by thestable.ca. Own a little, love it a lot. That was Treadmill Warriors. And when you consider that we have yet to see Elijah Lufiel and Jermaine Haley, and we know Marique Isom was not available for tonight's game, it puts more pressure on Adams, Audie, Jean Couch, Morty, Nuga, Burns, Thomas, and Williams to have a little more cardio underneath those sneakers.
And we have not seen much of Terry Thomas this quarter either. Played a lot in the first quarter, but not in the second quarter.
Well, Thomas, unfortunately, is still yet to break the ice, so to speak, to use a old school, grade school basketball term. He's 0 of 5 from the field, John. You remember that, though? You had to break the ice to get possession.
Yes, I remember that very well.
You had to break the ice.
Break that.
Which means you had to get something in the basket before you're even in the game.
Yes.
Terry's not in the game.
I got you.
You get it?
I got it.
He's 0 of 5.
That's why he's sitting.
He hasn't broke the ice.
He's sitting. But this group is playing very well right that's on the floor right now. 3 smalls and 2 bigs, I call them.
Do you think the Express can cut into this 8-point deficit with 3 minutes to go?
I think they can. They just need to run their offense. But like I said, right now, nothing inside. Everything's dribble drive.
As you say that, they kick it out to Garth. The
There
3
you
ball
go.
goes down.
3 ball saves him.
He's now 2 of 4 from beyond the arc, 5 of 8 in the game. Garth has 12 points, tied with Jakai Taylor for the lead in the Express uniforms.
Yeah, they're getting their scoring from other places than Billy White tonight. Stuckman, Garth.
Yeah, White's only
Taylor.
got 3 points so far here tonight. Now Burns with the floater, hits the rim. Garth on the rebound, turning the tide.
You're right. I think he did sprain his ankle, the big guy, Claiborne.
Now it's Jackson being rejected by Young Couch. Remember, he had 3 blocks in his debut.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. You can play aggressive on the perimeter because you know you gotta help defender down low, right? And Burns, he is on fire. What a terrific basketball name, Burns.
He's on pace for a 50-piece on your Wednesday night, John. 25 points. As Williams just railroads Claiborne from behind.
Yeah, the referee's down there. They're talking like, is this a flagrant or not? It was a little excessive force there. He definitely came in to block the shot, but he definitely came with excessive force. And to knock Claiborne down that vigorously, that might be looked at. But doesn't look like the referees are looking at it. But in my mind, it could have been looked at.
A little excessive. I would agree with you, John. Claiborne is the Louisiana native. The 6'11" product will go to the line for the first time, and he can't make the first one.
But he is limping, visibly limping. I think you called it on that one possession on the rebound. He rolled his ankle.
From 2015 to 2017, he played for his home state LSU Alexandria. Goes 1 for 2 on this trip. And again, Claiborne, a bit of a rough night, John. That's his first points of the game when you consider he's coming off of a 29-point, 10-rebound performance in just 31 minutes of play out on the East Coast in the 101-99 victory over the Newfoundland Rogues last Saturday.
Man-to-man defense here for Windsor.
Burns can't get love originally. Williams also following it up is rejected. Then Billy White got fancy on a bounce pass that Nuga read. Burns, bang! Oh my word!
On fire. Oh my goodness, a quick turnaround. Not a great pass by Billy White. He should have thrown it ahead of his man down the floor, not put it on right in front of the defender.
John, the Express are 8 of 20 from beyond the arc, as this one will rattle down, so now they're 9 of 21.
Which is a great, actually, percentage.
But here's the thing, Burns is 9 of 15 on his own from beyond the arc.
15 3 attempts in just the first half? Oh my goodness.
He's got 28 points as we enter the final minute of play. Claiborne wins that battle with Williams, but unfortunately he'll be called for the foul subsequently after.
I thought that was a great no call when Amir Williams went to the hoop and Billy White went straight up to block him. That was a great no call, but then Williams was able to recover the ball and draw the foul from Claiborne.
So allow Amir Williams to head to the line. Again, a guy that was playing in Malaysia, of all places, John, between winning the 2022 championship and rejoining the team just 3 games ago.
Well, London definitely working on their offense tonight. I'm not going to say too much about their defense. They have allowed 55 points to the Windsor Express. Well, you know, one thing I wanted to key in on was turnovers. 5 turnovers only for London. Wow, what a difference from the last game.
And the Express have 8 turnovers, and as a result, London's leading the points off of turnovers, currently 13-5. They have a 9-point lead in the final minute of the opening half here on your Wednesday evening. He's John Van Houweling, and I'm Jonathan Urbanowicz. We're happy to take you through here on NBLC TV. As Jackson over to White, now swings it to Garth, guarded by Morty. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Garth with the floater, rattles it down.
Stuck with it. Claiborne sort of kept young Cooch pinned down on the baseline, so he couldn't come and help.
Garth is leading the Express with 14 points. Hard to believe that he has half the points that this guy has in Burns with 28.
28 in the first half. Oh my goodness.
Burns looking to add to it here. Can he get a 30-piece before the halftime break? Burns with 3 seconds left decides to pass it off to Williams, who puts it in instead.
Soft floater, nice step back over the big guy. That took a soft touch. Wide open 3.
Ja'Kai Taylor can't respond. Now the half-court heave from Burns. Hey, you know what? He was so hot.
Touched the rim.
He was so hot that I actually thought that had a chance. But after the first half of action is done, John, it's a 9-point lead for the London Lightning. Maybe even more impressive when you consider the first opening 3 minutes of your Wednesday night was all Windsor as they were out to a 16-4 run. But however they started this game, they certainly haven't concluded it, at least the opening half, that is, John, as unfortunately they trail by 9 at the halftime break, and they are getting a variety of scoring from Ja'Kai Taylor and Nick Garth, with Billy White subsequently in single digits. But how do you, well, put the aloe vera lotion on for all these burns they're getting?
33-point attempts already in the first half by London Lightning. I am thinking, looking back at this game, you know, because they've let up quite a few points in London, right, with Windsor. I think Doug Plum is really focusing on how to knit his players together to get the offense flowing, because he knows he has.
London has a historical 3-1 record versus teams from the state of New York. However, they're 0-1 in the state of New York, trying to get back to 500.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Windsor Express, it ain't over till it's over, John. They're still in this basketball game, only down by 9 at the halftime break. But again, just looking at the team statistics, shooting 40.9% from beyond the arc would usually get the job done, but not when your opponent has a team-high player with 28 points at the halftime break. I look over at Billy White's 3 points, where he's 1 of 6 so from the field. You never like to put it all on one player, John, but if Billy White can go back to that triple-double style performance we saw at the Atlantic Ocean against the Newfoundland Rogues, this might be a far closer ball game.
Yeah, his teammates have been, filling in for him, picking him up, holding them in the ball game, especially Stuckman and Taylor, of course, and Garth. But I think he needs to contribute more on the offensive end, absolutely. 4
Express products in double-digit point production in the first half. Garth leading the charge with 14, Ja'Kai Taylor with 12, Jamyron Jackson with 11, and your boy Tanner Stuckman with 10. So Nuga plays pitch and catch with Morty. They give it to Jean Cooch, who's stuck on a pivot. He'll feed the hot hand and Burns. Burns back to Morty. As Burns now collapses into the paint and kicks it out to Nuga. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Jeremiah Morty, the Nigerian, splash!
Wow, I thought they were going to get closed out on his defense there. He took a sweet old time, but he got it lined up, made the first shot of the half.
Our player to watch in a yellow uniform is perfect so far in this game, John. 3 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from beyond the arc. William Claiborne, who we thought might have busted a wheel, seems to be still limping a little bit as he's engaging with Amir Williams down low.
He did a good job screening off of Williams that time, so he couldn't come out and close out the shooter.
Nick Garth continues to add to his team high, now has 16 points in this game. A 10-point lead for the home squad. Jean Couch with the bounce pass to the fellow big and Amir Williams. Now Claiborne actually got switched off, so he goes to the bank.
Timmy Duncan all over again off that backboard. How many points did Tim Duncan score like that? Faces up, you're not coming out to me? Oh, I'll use the backboard.
Geometry is so key in sport.
It is.
Billy White trying to get it back to Claiborne, but they're going to say that just went out of bounds. I thought for sure, I mean, I don't know how Claiborne didn't collect that unless the Lightning had deflected it away, but according to officials.
Too much spin on the ball there, I think.
So the frustrating night for Billy White continues here in the second half.
See, and that's what I like with Williams. He's willing to take that shot from the foul line. Young Couch had it there twice in the first two possessions. Didn't even look for his shot. It's something he's going to need to have to develop.
Well, that's the first shot of the game, technically, for Jean Couch. He made all 4 points in the first half from the charity stripe, where he was a perfect 4 of 4.
Yeah, so that was Williams at the foul line, right? They had exchanged spots. So Williams had gone high. Young Couch had gone low.
Claiborne from the elbow hits the back of the rim, and is Jean Couch on the rebound.
He's eager to get the boards. I like it.
Jeremiah
So
Morty.
you're looking at two bigs, one playing low, one playing high.
As Morty zigzags his way into express territory.
Oh, nice little teamwork there.
Beautiful passing by the Lightning. Burns.
Will it generate an open shot, though? No, it won't.
Nuga tries to save it and does. Give and go with Morty. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Amir Williams floater won't go.
Good box out by Billy White that time on Young Couch.
Jackson letting the pieces set up on the other side of the court. Give and go between White. Jackson for 3. It won't go down. Claiborne, the one express product, battling 3 yellow uniforms.
He just can't get any lift. You can see his ankle is killing him. No lift. Just a little late that pass. Claiborne hustling as best he can. Deflected that pass out of bounds.
Jordan Burns with 9:22 remaining in the third quarter is 1 assist shy of the double-double, John.
I don't know if we'll see Claiborne anymore this game. I don't know.
What a big feature out of the Express offense as Burns can't get this corner 3 to go. Again, Claiborne had 29 points where he was 10 of 12 from the field, 9 of 9 from the charity stripe, and he had the double-double too, John, with 10 rebounds.
I thought a terrific split of that double team on him and couldn't finish.
Billion-dollar move, 10-cent finish, as you like to say, John. Nuga from Morty banks this one off the window, but can't get love off the rim. Billy White loves that bounce pass.
He does. It's a great bounce pass.
When it works.
Yeah, you have to throw it at the right time.
That's what I'm going to say. When it works, it looks great.
But typically a defender will only be able to deflect it, not usually catch it or kick it, right? So you get the ball back. Yeah, this is what I think he needs to do more often. Absolutely.
Goes after Jean Couch.
Drive the lane, post up. You got the height to match up with both of them.
He might be banged up there on the baseline, though, John. We just saw Claiborne leave this game, and like you said, you didn't know if he was able to come back now.
He didn't slip on the sign or nothing, right?
No, it wasn't your favorite baseline signs, but after following through underneath
villain
under the basket, he's a little worse for wear.
Yeah, I don't know. Didn't step on the broom, maybe. It looks like he's. I don't know.
No, there must have been a wet spot down there because they're getting the broom boy out. Looks like Terry Thomas wants to check into this game, and they're going to get that done.
We didn't see him all the second quarter.
So Mike Nuga checks off, and Terry Thomas comes in. Again, as I mentioned before, Terry Thomas still trying to break the ice, John. 0 of 5 in this game so far.
I think he's trying not to break any bones either. So.
Well, he has had struggles, at least here at home, keeping healthy. It looks like Billy White again, shaken, not stirred, John, but we saw William Claiborne in that same equation earlier, and it seemed to have hindered the big man's performance. We'll see if that plays a factor on Billy White.
He's way on the treadmill, way back on the bike back there is Claiborne.
The only thing about an elliptical, John, is it's only good if you're actually using it. He's just sitting on it.
He was using it. Then he
okay,
I did see him moving it.
Right.
So this is where Williams can take that shot, or he can give it into the big guy.
Travel by Jean Couch.
I thought that was deflected out of his hands. Young Couch does not want to argue, so.
Well, it's funny, you got the veteran almost and the defending champion Williams talking with Tony Turnbull back up the court. And then Jean Couch, the only second game in a Lightning uniform, just quiet as a library. 13-point lead for the Lightning.
This is what he needs to do, absolutely. What are they calling there? Yeah, holding foul. They can't. I don't think anybody can contain him off the dribble.
Billy White was 6 of 6 from the charity stripe in that 101-99 victory over the Newfoundland Rogues on Saturday. So far here tonight, Billy White, though, 1 of 2 from the charity stripe. Now Tanner Stuckman, stuck below the baseline, was able to save this to Jackson. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Stuckman pulls up the 3. It won't go. Morty on the rebound, his 5th of the game. Terry Thomas, who does have 2 points in this game, but both came from the free throw line, looking for his first bucket of the contest. Sean Cooch, Butterfingers, eventually corrals it back for Thomas. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Thomas's 2 will go.
And again.
So he broke the ice.
He did, but again, where did he get to? He got to the foul line extended, right? So that is such a, to me, that is gold. If you can get up the ball to the foul line or just inside of it with a player, good things happen all the time.
The Scarborough native, Jason Calise, gets some points on the board. He's now 2 of 3 from the field with 5 points. London controlling this second half of action so far. After having a 40-point second quarter, they're out to a 9-5 lead here after the halftime break. Amir Williams backing down Billy White, and it'll draw the foul. White can't believe it, John. That'll be his 3rd foul of the game.
I don't know how he's arguing that one. Like, he got back down. He didn't keep his arm straight. He swung down at the ball when Williams went up. Like, if he had kept his arm straight, I think the referee wouldn't have called a foul, but he definitely created a foul. I'm going, okay.
Quite an animated conversation with the crew
chief and
Chris
refs are giving him lots of
Delaney.
respect, right? Because he's been in the league a long time. I'm assuming he's not using words that are offensive, so he's just arguing the call.
Hard to believe you go all the way back to 2008. That's when the Mountain West Freshman of the Year was also an all-conference third-team member in Billy White, the Las Vegas, Nevada native that went to San Diego State. They're known as the Aztecs, John. And did they not just make the Final Four?
I told you that, right? A couple of weeks ago, I said I like San Diego State. Well, Kawhi's old team, they got a bunch of seniors, and they look like they all work the weights. I'm telling you, they beat you right up.
My poor Boilermakers.
Yes, I'm putting that all down to coaching.
Okay.
I am.
I did watch the game, though, and they couldn't hit a 3 to save their life.
No, but
maybe go to the big man down low now?
Who is the big guy guarding? Why is he playing man-on-man with the weakest shooter on the other team and chasing them all over court and throwing them around the three-point line?
Nick.
Like, why don't you do a box and one then? Or just play a zone then.
Terry Thomas, the sea opens up and the East Crescent
nobody
Nova
willing
Scotia
to
native goes
challenge
right
him.
to the rack.
Nobody willing to challenge him.
Like Moses waving the staff out there, John.
I know. I think the coach at Purdue is in trouble. So it's 3 years in a row they got knocked out early with a really good team.
That's actually 3 years in a row that a 13 seed or worse has knocked them out of the tournament. You remember St. Peter's, a New Jersey-based school, did it last year as another foul called.
Who's it on, Stuckman or White?
I think it's got to be on Stuckman.
I thought it was
White
on
got all
Stuckman.
ball.
White came later. I thought it was a Stuckman foul.
It is on 24. That's Stuckman,
Very good.
John.
Yeah, I thought it was. White's just a little over-animated. He's going to psych himself right out of this game or get himself right out of this game.
Well, Billy White was sitting on 3 fouls, so I think he was worried that it was on him, which would have been his 4th. Instead, it'll go to Stuckman.
Well, I do see the big guy down there working, Claiborne, on the bike. So maybe there's a possibility of him coming in, but he's not working it too hard. So
Also, if you're the head coach in Bill Jones, you kind of evaluate the situation. I mean, let's face it, they're down by 18 points here on the road, John. 19 now with Amir at the line. You want William Claiborne to come back into this game. However, the double-double machine from your last game, you don't want to get him aggravating injuries.
no, you don't want anything that's going to become more lengthy. I agree. This is a good move by White. Absolutely. That's the 3rd time he's driven the ball. All 3 times he's drawn a foul.
And again, it goes against the newcomer in John Cooch. That's just his 2nd foul of the game, though. Really hindered so far. I mean, he's not on the court, so that probably plays a factor. It's Jordan Burns. He's yet to get points in the second half here, John. As Calise for 3 grazes the rim. Nuga behind the back avoids Jakai
Hit the
Taylor.
speed of Nuga.
Terry Thomas, give and go with Nuga. It won't go down.
Again, young Cooch just batting the ball up, playing volleyball with it, trying to batted back to himself, but that gives you so many extra possessions sometimes when you have a player that has that leaping ability and able just to tip the ball back to your teammates. That time not successful though.
A 19-point lead for London here at home, trying to improve to 17-5 overall and 10-3 here at Budweiser Gardens in 2023. The London Lightning will be on the road Friday night in the last evening of March when they take on the Albany Patroons in New York State at 7 p.m. We'll be back on the air Easter weekend, John. That's April 8th when they take on the KW Titans here at Budweiser Gardens. And for the Windsor Express, well, they got a couple days off, and then they'll host the Flint United at 2 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon on April 2nd. And then they'll be back on the NBLC flavor when they go up to the Sudbury 5 to take them on Saturday night, April 8th. So again, both teams will get a taste of TBL action before going back to NBLC action with the 2023 regular season winding down.
Yeah, and I was just going to make that, looking at the standings, like really the only battle that I see in the standings is between first and second. Right?
Sudbury and London.
Sudbury, London, and who plays the last game of the season? London up in Sudbury. So then London's a game behind right now. Well, in the percentages, right? Same amount of wins, but
well,
yeah.
After tonight, sadly, John, just 3 more home games left in the regular season. The Easter weekend game I just alluded to against the KW Titans, and then TBL's Kalamazoo Galaxy in back-to-back games in late April.
Yeah, and then we get to my favorite month of the year, May.
Which is why?
May 5th, my birthday.
Okay.
You know, spring, golf usually starts. So
after May the 4th be with you, your birthday comes
up. My birthday is an auspicious date in Holland. It's when Holland got liberated by, who else? The Canadians.
Okay.
So all those things, and it's, for some of my other friends, it's Cinco de Mayo Day as well.
You're pandering for gifts, are you?
No, I don't want anything.
Okay.
No. No, but it's just my favorite.
I don't think Curtis is going to get you anything.
Favorite time of the year.
Okay.
And usually playoffs, hockey, basketball, lightning. How can it get any better than that?
Well, you know what? It's my old man's birthday in May, too. So we'll go with May being the favorite month of the year. Sure, why not?
Absolutely. So lots of great sports going on at the same time, right?
Burns, with 28 points in the opening half, has 0 points in the second half so far, John. He got me all antsy in my pantsy thinking it was going to be a 50-piece, and yet he puts the tongue back in my mouth.
Cue. He did the nice zip around the back corner. His teammate hit him in stride.
He's got 17 minutes of game time left. He has hit the 30-piece, but you know what? Does he have enough for the 50, John? Still in him.
Wow, tough pass.
Khalil saves it, though, and it's Jakai Taylor, corner pocket, rimming out.
He should just shoot in rhythm, get the 2 points. The percentage will be way higher. He takes that step back, the 3-point line, and, the percentages go way down when you're not shooting in rhythm. Like, you need a basket.
Bucket won't count for Jean Cooch, but he will
held
go to the line.
Down below, yep.
No, they're going to say he wasn't. Sorry, they said he wasn't in the act of shooting.
No, he was held on the floor. I think I just said that, right?
So Nuga will inbound it.
Yeah.
And it looks like Claiborne wants to come back into this game.
He's going to give it another try. This is the last 4 minutes of the third quarter. They're probably going to see, okay, can you make it or can you not make it?
But even as he jogs from the scorer's table, I look at just the way he's jogging onto the court for Billy White, and I don't see 100% in those sneakers right now.
Well, that's because White's got, his 4th foul there? Yeah. Just spell him off maybe for the rest of this quarter.
Burns backing down Garth, and just a one-hander of beauty.
He's scoring at will every which way. 33
points, 11 of 21 from the field, 10 of 17 from beyond the arc. He's also got 9 assists, 1 more apple from the double-double on your Wednesday night.
Young Cooch doing a great job holding Claiborne off from getting position.
Well, Claiborne's arguably playing with 1.5 wheels right now, though, John.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Claiborne going after 3 Lightning uniforms. He'll be rejected by Thomas, who flexes it off. That's a tough position for Claiborne to be in.
He can't get any lift. He can't get any lift. He's just playing all heart right now.
Well, he was also in the storm clouds there, John, with 3 Lightning products all around him.
He just couldn't get any lift there either.
We talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, he's coming off the double-double performance in 31 minutes of play, had 29 points and 10 rebounds. But again, Newfoundland, a bit of a smaller team in comparison to London. Thomas trying to go after Stuckman, and 1.
His teammates are really pulling for him because he has struggled. Of course, with injuries, but also from the floor as well the last few games. We know how valuable Terry Thomas will be in the playoffs. We know what he's made of, so they're all cheering him, making that and one.
Terry Thomas had 2 points in the opening half of play, which came from the charity stripe. He's still yet to make a shot from beyond the arc, so he switched it up. He started to drive into the paint a bit more, and as a result, he shot 3 of 8 from the field, and he's got now 8 points after missing this one.
White's back on the court, even with 4 fouls.
He'll leave it back for Garth. A give and go. The San Diego State product with the power move in on John Cooch.
Just can't get the and one, but that's what I've been looking for all night long from Billy White.
John Cooch has 3 fouls. I would argue that all 3 have come via Billy White.
I think they have been, actually, yes.
But again, as this game continues to separate in London's favor, a 26-point lead with 3:47 left. Remember, London put up a 40-piece in the second quarter. They're outscoring the Express 22-5 so far in this quarter, John.
5 points, that's it? Wow.
Remember, against the Jamestown Jackals of the Basketball League, they outscored Jamestown 28-6 in just the second quarter.
I am quite sure I read that on the website from NBLC that is a record of lowest points in a quarter
Windsor
defenses ever held.
Currently has 6. They break that record with 7.
Don't want to be part of that.
They're still down by 24, though, here with 3:40 to go in the third quarter.
As well. And clamps have been put on Ja'Kai Taylor and also Garth as well for scoring. They have hardly scored this quarter, so London's really adjusted their defense.
Do your stereotypical John Van Hallen point breakdown. Where do you want to see this score if you're a Windsor fan by the end of this quarter?
Windsor fan, I don't think this game is going to be winnable anymore.
Oh, wow, John. Okay.
I just don't see it.
John's just hammering the nails in the coffin here before the third quarter is over.
Unless Billy White keeps doing this and keeps drawing a foul, which that should have been a foul, I thought. Good play by him again.
Wow.
Just forcing his way in. He needs
Where
to do that.
there's a will, there's a way. Billy White.
Unless Billy White comes alive, I don't think they have it in them to close the gap with this.
I don't
Everybody's
think
on fire
I've
for
ever
London.
heard a pessimistic John Van Hallen, and you always give the team an opportunity. You always give them the door of opportunity open a bit. And tonight, of all nights, John, you're saying, I think it's shut.
They've only got 8 players, right? White's in foul trouble. Claiborne's hurt, right? London has shut down the 2 big scorers from the first half in this whole quarter. They've only scored 7 points this quarter. Like, I'm going, London's on fire, right? So
yeah, we were
I just
chirping
don't see
London
it.
for having, poor starts in the second half. Tonight is not one of those poor starts. A 24-9, make it a 25-9 third quarter currently with under 3 to go. And again, this isn't anything new. They outscored the Jamestown Jackals in the second quarter of that game 28-6, and as John Van Hallingen noted, 6 points, a record.
All right, I'll take it a little bit back. I mean, there's a lot of time left. I just don't see the spark, the fire, the offense right now from Windsor.
Like I said, I don't think I've ever heard you pessimistic. You're getting me depressed, John. Numbers the other way, led by Terry Thomas. Up tonight, Mike Nuga, and Nuga was able to just sort of tap it in.
Yeah, they're getting tired as well.
Just tap it in.
Should get into the big guy. He cleared his space out. There you go.
Claiborne, I thought he got a little roughed up, but instead he'll remain at 2.
He just backed Amir Williams, one of the biggest guys in the league, like he was just, no problem.
Billy White again had 16 points, 14 assists, and 8 rebounds in the last game versus Newfoundland, but so far here tonight, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 8 points. Nuga using the window to get around the big man.
Yeah, if London keeps operating this kind of efficiency in offense and making good decisions, not turning the ball over, at best, Windsor's going to match baskets, but I don't see them cutting into this lead.
Well, London's on pace to hit the century mark, John, in the opening 3 quarters of play on their Wednesday. The one-hander from Ja'Kai Taylor misses. Morty receives it from Terry Thomas, feeds Mike Nuga. The Canadians work it up the court, and they continue to rotate it now over to Jordan Burns. He's 11 of 18 from downtown.
Yeah,
he's got 36
be getting close
points.
to some kind of record here of a 3-pointers made in a game. I don't know what it is right now, but that 11-pointers, I don't care how many attempts he's had. He's made 11 of them. Windsor just cannot seem to find him in time to stop him from shooting.
Nick Garth, Ja'Kai Taylor, and Jamiron Jackson have a combined 37 points in this game. Jordan Burns has 36 on his own.
They can't contain him. They could play zone. They play man-to-man. They just have not been able to get to him on time. And London are swinging the ball well. I'm trying to, let's have a look at see how many assists they have here. Assist to turnover ratio is one of my key stats, always right. Only 6 turnovers for the London Lightning, 10 only for Windsor, not too bad. But assists, 26 already assists this game. Matches what they had last game already in the whole of all of it. But last game they had 26 turnovers. We'll take the 2 off of that, put it down to 6. What a great ratio for assist to turnover ratio.
The 6-foot point guard from San Antonio, Texas, Jordan Burns, spent 4 years at Colgate. That is a Division I school in the NCAA, where he started 99 of 111 games. He had 3,400 minutes of court time in his NCAA experience, had 500 assists, 1,666 points, and shot a career 41.9% from the field. Back in 2021, he was named the Patriot League Player of the Year, and he was a 2-time Patriot League Tournament MVP and a 2-time first-team All-Star during his time with Colgate. He had cups of coffee with the Austin Spurs and the Maine Celtics of the G League, and also played basketball in Bulgaria before joining the London Lightning.
Lots of credentials and really starting to come into his own in this second part of the season as well for London.
Windsor trying to chew into this 20-point deficit with about 1:15 remaining in the third quarter.
30 points.
You're right, partner. Oh, my word.
This is what I was saying. We were talking in the 20, but we're 30, so.
Oh.
This is why I'm not being negative Nelly, but I just don't see a way back.
No, continue to be negative, John, please.
No, I'm not a negative
Amir
guy.
Williams,
I'm just
hit the century mark.
I'm always trying to be fair, but realistically, Windsor's playing for pride right now. Also, not to get hurt, I might mention, but also playing for pride and see if they can't stiffen up their defense.
After a 40-point second quarter, the London Lightning are outscoring the Express 34-11 currently here in the third. And it continues to go in their favor here with 35 seconds left in it. Jeremiah Morty, you look at Doug Plum, his team is up by 32 points, and he continues to bark at it like a junkyard dog.
He wants them to run the offense, right? And that's what they concentrate on tonight. We said that earlier. They really were focusing on their offensive flow, offensive sets tonight, limiting their turnovers. That time took his eye off the ball, but they want to run certain things with certain players, and this is what he wants. He has the luxury of being at a 30-point lead where he can do that as well.
Who's literally on the court talking with Jordan Burns as they inbound the ball. Shot clock's turned off. The dribble and drive of Billy White, and that's a thing of beauty for 2.
All night long, I say. Should have been all night long.
After 3 quarters of play, the London Lightning have 100 points already on the board. They have given up 70 to the Express, but man, have a 30-point lead. I can't believe this right now.
Well, they held them to 13 points in that quarter, right? That was the biggest difference, and it kept running on their offense. And they had some good hot shooting, especially from Burns.
They outscored the Jamestown Jackals 28-6 in the second quarter. That's a 22-point favor. That was a 34-13 quarter, a 21-point favor for the Lightning, who again put up 40 points in the second quarter alone.
Yeah, they're rolling tonight. And then their defense really picked up in that third quarter as well, right? So a lot of their offense did come off of their defense as well. So holding a team to 70 points and what they had last game already in the whole of all of it. But last game they had 26 turnovers. We'll take the 2 off of that, put it down to 6. What a great ratio for assist to turnover ratio.
The 6-foot point guard from San Antonio, Texas, Jordan Burns, spent 4 years at Colgate. That is a Division I school in the NCAA, where he started 99 of 111 games. He had 3,400 minutes of court time in his NCAA experience, had 500 assists, 1,666 points, and shot a career 41.9% from the field. Back in 2021, he was named the Patriot League Player of the Year, and he was a 2-time Patriot League Tournament MVP and a 2-time first-team All-Star during his time with Colgate. He had cups of coffee with the Austin Spurs and the Maine Celtics of the G League, and also played basketball in Bulgaria before joining the London Lightning.
Lots of credentials and really starting to come into his own in this second part of the season as well for London.
Windsor trying to chew into this 20-point deficit with about 1:15 remaining in the third quarter.
30 points.
You're right, partner. Oh, my word. It
This
is
is
a
what
30
I was saying.
point.
We were talking in the 20, but we're 30. So
Oh.
this is why I'm not being negative Nelly, but I just don't see a way back.
No, continue to be negative, John, please.
No, I'm not a negative
Amir
guy.
Williams,
I'm
they've
just
hit the century mark.
I'm always trying to be fair, but realistically, Windsor's playing for pride right now. Also, not to get hurt, I might mention, but also playing for pride and see if they can't stiffen up their defense.
After a 40-point second quarter, the London Lightning are outscoring the Express 34-11 currently here in the third. And it continues to go in their favor here with 35 seconds left in it. Jeremiah Morty, you look at Doug Plum, his team is up by 32 points and he continues to bark at it like a junkyard dog.
He wants them to run the offense, right? And that's what they concentrate on tonight. We said that earlier. They really were focusing on their offensive flow, offensive sets tonight, limiting their turnovers. That time took his eye off the ball, but they want to run certain things with certain players, and this is what he wants. He has the luxury of being up a 30-point lead where he can do that as well.
Who's literally on the court talking with Jordan Burns as they inbound the ball. Shot clock's turned off. The dribble and drive of Billy White, and that's a thing of beauty for two.
All night long, I say. Should have been all night long.
After 3 quarters of play, the London Lightning have 100 points already on the board. They have given up 70 to the Express, but man, have a 30-point lead. I can't believe this right now.
Well, they held them to 13 points in that quarter, right? That was the biggest difference, and it kept running on their offense. And they had some good hot shooting, especially from Burns.
They outscored the Jamestown Jackals 28-6 in the second quarter. That's a 22-point favor. That was a 34-13 quarter, a 21-point favor for the Lightning, who again put up 40 points in the second quarter alone.
Yeah, they're rolling tonight. And then their defense really picked up in that third quarter as well, right? So a lot of their offense did come off of their defense as well. So holding a team to 70 points in 3 quarters is pretty good. Holding a team to 55 points at half, not so great. But when you have a third quarter like that, pretty good.
I'm looking down on the court. The assistant coach for the Express has been waving his hands trying to get attention of the officials for ages, and they don't seem to be granting him any communication.
That's Carl coming out from the scorekeeper's clock, right? Something's going on.
It's a scores table staff that actually is telling the referees, hey, an Express coach is trying to get your attention here.
I'm not sure what he wants to get his attention for, but maybe whose possession is it, maybe? It should be.
Could also be
Windsor
where the ball is being inbounded from. And
yeah, but why are you so anxious about it, right? So I'm not sure.
The Express are back in action. It looks like they will drop to 9-10 overall, as the assistant coach will be granted the conversation finally in that far corner.
So is Carl still doing the Raptors game as well? Do you know? He was working the score bench for a number of years there as well.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he has the last couple of years.
Well, there's championship caliber all around this arena, John. For the Express, though, as I mentioned, they came in with a 500 record here on the road, 5-5 away from Windsor. They are 4-4 in Windsor in 2023. It's impressive when you consider they were 1-11 away from Windsor in 2022.
Yeah, that was a horrible road record last year, absolutely.
The former London Lightning Adam Alita feeds Billy White. He tried to kick it out to Garth. Interrupted by Mike Nugo. Breaks out the hammer.
And you see how quick he is to flash into that spot as well. I think he read that one.
32-point lead on your Wednesday night for the Lightning. Adding to it, here is the speedy Mike Nuga. So Garth and the Express try to work it to the big down low. Claiborne can't get love off the rim, but he'll get the call from the ref.
There, maybe a little bit of sympathy for the big guy as well. He worked hard to get his position using his left hand. Williams called for the foul. Williams just walking away to half.
Claiborne, 29 points, 10 rebounds in 31 minutes of play. But here in the fourth quarter, John, he's got 3 points on your Wednesday night. He's 1 of 5 from the line.
So I think we must have had a technical call here as well, because Claiborne's not going to the line, even though he will be. It looks like Garth is going to the line.
I think Amir Williams might have said an extra word. And if I think back to earlier in this game, remember there was a a sort of a call, non-call against Kerr Jean-Couch, and it was Jean-Couch who was a silent librarian walking away from the situation. It was Amir Williams who wasn't involved directly in that play going into the grill of the official going, hey, my teammate deserved that call.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there cumulative technicals in the NBL? See, like there is in the NBA, right? After, I don't know, 16 or 18 technicals, you're suspended.
There is.
Then
In
it
fact,
escalates.
if you recall, Doug Plum was very close to that mark in 2022. I believe he was a tech or two shy of the suspension.
So there is a cumulative penalty here as well then.
Claiborne, who was 1 of 2 before this trip to the line, will go 1 of 2 this time as well.
He's just gutting it out there on his ankle that he rolled.
Well, I'd imagine John with a 30-point difference on the board with 11:15 to go. Everybody's going to gut it out at this point. But I do know what you're saying. Claiborne isn't playing 100%. Burns is, though, although he is rarely missed tonight, and there's one of them.
Holding foul on Terry Thomas. Alita battling hard for that rebound, trying to contribute to his new team.
You can see Alita and Thomas kind of give a clapping of the high five as they go back up the court. So, John, you wanted free cactus fries and Bandera bread provided by Boston Pizza, and you're going to get it tonight, big fella, with the 102 on the board. Oh, yeah. Still almost 11 minutes to add to that if the Lightning choose to do so. Although I will say this, it's almost like they could literally coast it into neutral and just wipe out the next 10:45 off the clock and still pull away with the W.
Claiborne just hustling down the court, keeping up with Amir Williams. Windsor playing, I think, for a bit of pride. Get some basics defense back here again as well.
Burns kicks it out. Nobody's home. That would have been a backcourt violation anyway. Ja'Kai Taylor, European side, stepping his way, but he can't get the bucket to go.
Who's down there? Claiborne again. I'm going to take it all back. His ankle's just fine.
But you do see it in his face, John. He's muscling through
limping,
it.
Yeah.
Burns, they're going to say he was fouled.
That's a terrible foul by Billy White. And I don't know why you're complaining about it. You hit him with your hip.
And White had something to say to Jordan Burns as he was getting off the court.
I'm allowed to come down, so like you got to give me space. You got enough height just to put your hand up and challenge the shot. He's talking to the ref again. Oh my! All right, we're gonna see what happens in the playoffs with him. Right? Can he keep us cool in the playoffs? Got to stay in the game.
It's a frustrating night for Billy White, though.
It is,
10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, but John 5 fouls.
Yeah.
So Burns can't get love from the line. He's 1 of 2, now 1 of 3 from here.
It's too close.
I guess
so. Go back to the 3-point line.
11 of 19 from beyond the arc here on your Wednesday night. But he's now missed 2 straight from the free throw line.
In and out.
Hey, if I'm Billy White, who's stamping his feet literally on the bench right now, I'm going, the ball don't lie. 10:13 remains in the fourth quarter clock. Burns will make 1 of the 3 on this trip.
What's that put him at?
Well, currently 37 points on your Wednesday night. He'll get the 40-piece, but as I was trying to hype up before the halftime break, I thought he could get to 50.
Yeah.
Still lots of time left to do so. Garth pulling up from the near elbow. Rim rejection. Rebound to Audie. Crosses over midcourt and looks around at his options. Watched by Garth, he'll feed Jeremiah Morty. Engages with the big fella.
Tough cover.
Burns from distance. Won't go. Jackson on the rebound.
That was a good shot selection. Good dribble penetration. He shot in a rhythm that time.
7th rebound of the game for Jackson. Adam Alita, the former London Lightning, who had 200 minutes in a yellow uniform before being released earlier this week.
Stuckman had the big mismatch down there. I don't know why they didn't look for him.
Claiborne from Garth. They need more of that.
They do. Dribble penetration and hand it off to the big guy.
Audie lethargically crosses over midcourt, brings it into the front court in favor of the home team, who have a 29-point lead. Jean-Couch kicks it out for Morty. The hesitation doesn't matter. 3's good.
Yeah, he hesitated again, getting himself set, but he had lots of time, so.
Jeremiah Morty is perfection tonight, John. 4 of 4 from the field, 3 of 3 from downtown. There's a reason why he was our player to watch. Claiborne out to Stuckman, the Illinois native from distance. Can't get it to go. Now 2 Lightning products in Jean-Couch and Audie collide. It doesn't matter. Burns carries it up the court. The South Sudan native gives it to the Nigerian as the two Africans are on the court with two Canadians and the lone American in Burns. Burns trips up against Claiborne, and what are they calling here, partner?
I think he got a bailout foul. He had nowhere to go. I don't know what Claiborne did exactly, but I thought he shot. I thought he shot off.
The push on
I
threes.
thought he shut off the baseline very well there, but it's going to be a foul on Claiborne. It's only the second team foul for Windsor in the quarter.
Just the third foul of the game against William Claiborne. Billy White sitting at 5. He's the only player in that category so far between both teams.
5-second call. Ay, ay, ay.
Audie could not find a teammate in time, and they lose possession deep in their own territory. Or I beg your pardon, offensively speaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a dead ball turnover doesn't usually create points, right? So.
Claiborne, Jean
Oh my goodness.
And I thought Jean Couch gave him a little tug, too.
I thought he did, too. A nice move by Claiborne. How'd it go?
Claiborne having a much more impressive fourth quarter after struggling over the first 3 quarters here on your Wednesday night. Jean Couch couldn't handle it. Claiborne, of all people, can. Tries to push it up the court to Jackson. Corner 3 from number 3. Garth, it's good.
Look, London's losing a little bit of their focus on offense here. Wouldn't be surprised they call a timeout soon.
Well, they were outscored by the Express in their last game, 30-21 in the fourth quarter, but that was too little too late in that 98-81 final. And as we talked about here tonight, even after the third quarter, John, you were sort of writing off the ship as it was a 34-13 third quarter alone by the Lightning after a 40-piece in the second quarter. Had really made it a 30-point game before we got the fourth quarter off.
Mm-hmm. Still a 28-point game.
Yeah, Windsor is outscoring the Lightning, albeit by a slim 9-7 margin. Again, the Lightning are back in action on Friday, but that's on the road in the state of New York to take on the Albany Patroons, the only team in the TBL historically to ever hand the London Lightning a loss.
Now, do I see Billy White with his warm-up clothes on and sitting on the bench?
He definitely has his shirt on. It doesn't look like he's coming back into this game. Tanner Stuckman will turn around for the J.
I just like his game. He does all little things really well.
That is his first points, though, of the second half here with 7:15 remaining in the fourth quarter.
He's just a steady Eddie kind of guy.
Burns, who has the double-double already, but it's Jean Couch to Nuga. Audie on the rebound. The loose change kicks out for Burns.
Who kicked that out?
Burns
John
with the
Couch
awkward
again.
3. There was time on the shot clock. I don't think he knew what was going on there.
I think he didn't think the ball had hit the rim, I think is what he thought.
Alita for 3. Can't get it to go. The former London Lightning does have 3 points in his Express career so far in his debut in a Windsor uniform.
Burns trying to set the early screen on Stuckman, but I think he held him instead of did a good screen. Williams coming back in the game for Young Couch. I like how Young Couch again kept that ball alive, right?
You know that game, John? One of these things is not like the other. Mm-hmm. One of these things is not like the rest. Look at Amir Williams' jersey. The Lightning is above the number. The rest of his team, the Lightning, is below the number.
What's going on there?
One of these things is not like the other. Jordan Burns, a rare miss from distance, and it's Jackson settling it down for the visitors. Nick Garth leading the Express in points with 20 so far on your evening. He's got the double-double with 10 assists. Jackson from distance. It rims out. Audie on the rebound, his 6th of the game. Audie trying to go coast to coast. Lost it, but got it back and leaves it for Burns. Burns for Mike Nuga. It won't go. That's Jeremiah Morty battling it with William Claiborne. Rolls out to Nuga instead.
Yeah, they got the shot clock back. Set it up again.
Burns with 39 points tucked away in that far corner. Instead, it's Nuga exploiting Claiborne for 2.
No help defense either. Alita coming very late that time to help close it out. Mind you, Nuga's pretty quick off the dribble.
Jackson rejected by Amir Williams.
Well, it looks like White is coming back in the game. Took off his warm-up jerseys.
Burns again misses. So he's cooled off here in the fourth quarter. He's stuck at 39 points.
40 just sounds like a lot more, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. Williams, the former Ohio State Buckeye, and 1.
Nothing flashy there. I just like it. Nice straight up fundamental basketball. Put it to your left hand. Keep it away from the defensive player and gets the and one with 5:23 left. 2-minute timeout. 112-81 for the Lightning.
The 6'11 center from Birmingham, Michigan, and Amir Williams spent 4 years at Ohio State, where he started 89 of 134 games. That's 2,200 minutes and 660 points and 187 blocks in a Buckeyes uniform. His professional career has literally taken him all around the globe: New Zealand, Switzerland, Hungary, and Britain. You can also couple that with Malaysia between winning the NBLC championship in 2022 and rejoining the London Lightning here in 2023.
Yeah, that's where he finished his season up, right, and enjoying the Lightning midway through the season here.
And back in 2015, Amir Williams was a 6th overall pick in the first round by the Rio Grande Valley Vipers in the D League, known as the G League draft now. He did have a career 67 G League games, where he started in 26 of them for the Grand Valley Vipers, as well as the Iowa Wolves, totaling 275 points in his G League career. And so far tonight for Amir Williams, 24 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. Jeremiah Morty, our player to watch, is human after all. He has finally missed a shot in this game, John, where he's 4 of 5 from the field. He has the double-double to match his season average with 11 points and 10 rebounds. You got a feel for Nick Garth, who does have the double-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds for the Express right now, but not a whole lot of support around him. Ja'Kai Taylor and Tanner Suckman, both at 12 points. Remember, they were in double digits at the halftime break.
Yeah, I don't think Taylor scored this half at all.
Jamiron Jackson has 11 points, and Billy White has 10, but as we look down to the Express bench, I see Claiborne still in his uniform, so you never know.
Better just keep it loose, keep playing, right? As soon as you sit for a while, it's going to tighten up on you.
113-81. The London Lightning have been running away with this one ever since the second quarter of play, where they put up 40 points and then outscored the Express 34-13 in the third quarter alone. Jordan Burns with another rebound. John, remember, he's already got the double-double with the assist. He's now 4 rebounds shy of the triple-double, as he's now got the 40-piece with 41 and counting on your Wednesday evening.
Yeah, Windsor was anticipating him going for another 3, but he just turned the corner.
Billy White battling it with Amir Williams.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the biggest guy on him, and he can play the post. He's got great post moves.
He's now got 12 points. So White, Taylor, and Stuckman all with 12 in the Express. Burns trying to add to his 41, but they're calling for the charge.
He extended his lead arm. He extended it out. Did player control that time. You can put your elbow out here, but as soon as you extend your arm, that's called player control.
29 assists so far in this game for the London Lightning. 10 have come from the guy that just turned over the ball, though, in Jordan Burns. Adam Alita, he's our player to watch in an Express uniform. Feeds Billy White, who goes to the two-hand
That's
cramp.
a no-brainer. He's got like a foot on his defender. Give it to him.
Still a 30-point lead for the Lightning. Not what you expected coming to Budweiser Gardens on your Wednesday night.
No, especially after Windsor's quick start. And London couldn't figure out the zone, but then they got it figured out, and then they got some hot shooting.
Audie splits the seam and reverses it off the window.
They got a couple really small quicks there between Nuga and Audie. They are just so fast off the dribble.
Jean Cooch, Terry Thomas, and Marcus Audie, all with 8 points so far in this game. Nick Garth leading the Express with 20 points, but he loses it to Adams. In turn, feeding Burns. Burns using his speed up the court, goes after Stuckman and lost the ball to him. Alita from Ja'Kai Taylor, 3, I think was touched by Adams, but they're going to say no.
I think I just distracted him enough not to get enough arc on it. And Burns just got a technical. Now that, to me, sort of spoils his night. He was just trying to score a little too much at the end there, looking for his own shot. Just stay within the rhythm of the offense. That's how you got all your points early this year. Now he gets a technical foul, a late one, for arguing the call, driving to the hoop, where I thought Stuckman did a great job on defense.
Yeah, you accurately called it, though. He wanted to continue the conversation with the official from the previous play, where he was called for the charge. And like you said, you're allowed to, you get the chicken wing, you can do that, but you can't extend it out on the player. And that's exactly what you called it accurately, and the refs did too.
And then he's arguing it. To me, he's just looking for a shot too much. I know he's trying to set a record, maybe a personal scoring record. That's possible, but just play within the flow of the offense. The ball was moving quite crisply, and most of the time it was coming to you anyway. You don't need to look down and hunt your own shot.
Well, Adams, gives it over to Burns, and does Burns continue to point hunt here with 3:15 left in the game? Burns trying to cross over Garth. Step back floater, rattles down.
He's got that game in him. Again, he's close to the foul line again, right? When he gets to that foul line, foul line extended, he's very effective.
43 points on the night for Jordan Burns, the San Antonio, Texas native. Have yourself a Wednesday. Claiborne cleaning it up for Stuckman. He's got 10 points in the game. So Burns, 43. The count continues. The bounce pass to Jean Couch, though, will go to midcourt, and Audie stepped back over the line, but they're calling jump ball.
I held ball before he did that, so that'll be
Peculiar call.
London ball. Yeah, it was hard to tell. A lot of hands in there.
2:39 remains on the clock on your Wednesday night. A reminder that we are back on the air on NBLC TV. That's on Easter weekend. It's a Saturday night, 7 p.m. start, as the London Lightning will host the KW Titans on April 8th. They are away, though, this Friday night in the last evening of March when they take on the Albany Patroons. After the Audie miss, Billy White does collect it for the Express. White now has 8 rebounds in the game. White pulling up from distance, splash.
That's where he's so dangerous. I think young Couch thought, okay, he's going to drive on him. He took a step back, and then he hits the three. To me, that's the way the sequence of offense should go for White. He should be looking for his advantage going to the hoop all the time first.
Billy White was 1 of 5 from beyond the arc before making that one partner. Burns trying to facilitate some offense to Audie. They say that ricocheted, though, off of the Express. It'll be Audie inbounding here with 2:05 left in the hourglass. I guess it's not a true hourglass when there's only 48 minutes of game time, though. You get my point, though, John.
I guess I do, yeah.
Burns looking to add to it. He's going to be fouled. And Tanner Stuckman showing the sportsmanship. I want to pick you up, but at some point I also want to keep you down.
I'm not trying to let you score any easy baskets is what he's saying.
119 points put on the board by your Lightning here at home. The best offensive performance here at Budweiser Gardens in 2023.
Yes, and mainly I haven't looked at it lately, but I'm going to assume the assists look pretty good. I know there hasn't been a lot of sharing the ball lately with Burns controlling the ball a lot, but 29 assists they have.
And London leading points off of turnovers 19-12 as Windsor's turned over the ball 2 more times, 13-11 in this game. So London still has turned over the ball 11 times as Billy White goes in for 2 points. He's now got 19 points. He's really stepped it up here in the fourth quarter, but again, with $1:40 left, it might be a little too late.
I think they sort of need to feature that a little bit more when they play, when Windsor plays London anyway.
Burns just grazed the rim. He's hunting that 50-piece, folks. Currently sitting at 45 points with 90 seconds to go.
We're just talking about Billy White, right? He's a terrific player. So I just think against London, his game I think it needs to be inside out because for the most part,
you said, when he started driving to the paint, at least he's garnishing calls out of London.
Absolutely, and quite often he'll have a mismatch and he'll get the basket right, and then when the defender backs off on him, nail that three like you can.
Ja'Kai Taylor pulls up from distance. His team's now 4 points from the century mark as Audie continues to add to the 123 on the board for the yellow jerseys. White trying to feed Stuckman. I don't know if I agree with White's decision-making there.
Well, I think Stuckman got pushed, not pushed illegally, but he left his feet a little too early, and the defender sort of made him go a little bit forward, and the ball went right over top of him.
With 1 minute left in the game, Doug Plum takes Jordan Burns off, so he will likely finish his night with 45 points, 11 assists, 4 rebounds shy of the triple-double. Johnny made 11 of 24 shots from beyond the arc.
And I would say for the most part, those were shots that were set or facilitated up by London's offense. His teammates swinging the ball, and he's taking advantage of the wide open rhythm shots. Just this last little bit, he's sort of forcing it a little bit, trying to get to that 50, which is fine. That doesn't happen often that you ever have a chance to get 50 points. So his team, we're fine with that. So But yeah, most of them I would say would have come off assists from his teammates, those wide open looks for those threes. And he was hot, on fire.
Just looking down on the court, you have 2 Canadians, a Nigerian, a South Sudan, and an American, and you're 5 on the court for the Lightning. An international affair down on the court for Doug Plum.
Absolutely.
Again, the
That's what
Lightning
Canada's all
with the
about,
most
isn't it?
Canadian players on their roster and the only all-Canadian coaching staff. When you include Doug Plum, your defending coach of the year, joined by Dave Sewell and Michael Provenzano.
So that's going to be a 25-point win, and London, if nothing goes awry here, will hold a team under 100 points again.
And doing the sportsmanship thing, Adams hangs onto the ball intentionally for the shot clock violation. 7 seconds left in this game. So in the 97th edition of Express versus Lightning basketball, the 7th time in 2023, the London Lightning pull away with a 25-point victory. Lightning win, 123-98, thanks to 45 points and 11 assists provided by the Texas native in Jordan Burns. John, they took care of the turnovers, not quite up to 20. It was only down to 12 this time around.
Yes, I'm going to keep saying it as you head into the playoff pressure, right? And turnovers will become more of a factor when you have playoff games. Intensity is there. You know, players are going to put a lot of pressure on you, so you got to be able to control the ball. And tonight also 30 assists for the London Lightning as well, of who the main beneficiary I think would have been Jordan Burns tonight.
I mentioned this in 2022 and you hated the term, so I'm going to bring it back in 2023. Gentlemen's sweep. The Windsor Express only grabbed 1 win in 6 occasions in 2022 against the London Lightning. Well, here in 7 occasions in 2023, they only were able to grab the 1 win. It's another gentleman's sweep, John Van Halen.
You give the team 1 win
as a